15, 16 years old.
We live.
All right.
And doing what?
Stupid shit. Well, stuff we shouldn't have been doing, and we were just
Lucky.
I'm grateful, and lucky is probably the best way
Yeah.
to describe it. That nothing that bad ever really happened to us. But Brooklyn's not like Philly though.
How so?
Philly is a war zone. Brooklyn.
You think Philly's a war zone?
Philly is definitely a war zone.
Damn, how so? Break it down.
Like, there's 14, 15, 16-year-olds in Philadelphia will do way more than any 30, 31, 32 to 40-year-old in New York would ever do.
Damn.
They don't even think about it like that. Like,
Yeah.
it just, this is just a different vibe. And why? I don't know. I'm sure it's like that in Baltimore. I'm sure it's like that. I'm sure if you told me Brownsville niggas was wildin', then maybe, but not like, not really. Not like.
I feel like in New York, like any other different cities, there's more to do. It's more to do. Like, it's more to do, which occupied your mind. And in Philly, is not that much more to do. It's super poverty here. And then I think the worst part, you talk about men's mental health. Top of that, like you have not many outlets. You don't have much guidance because of the crime, the crack epidemic took away most of these dads. It's kind of easy to see how like people are going crazy, and they closed down 30 schools in 2013. So it's like, that's wild.
But there's not really, again, in New York, everywhere. Like, again, any major city, there's gonna be poverty. There's gonna be homelessness, but so I live in Fishtown.
Yeah.
And when you start walking under those bridges where I guess they call it Port Richmond or Kensington, I never saw no shit like that in New York. I don't care where I was in Brooklyn. I never saw nothing like that before. It's a different world, bro. It's a different world.
I'm happy
The thing is, most of them are harmless. 95% of them are harmless. But it's just zombie land, and it's just different. Than you get the 5% that are really gonna rob you, like for real. Like they don't have a choice. They try to figure out how to
not be sick,
not be sick, or not have to sleep under the bridge.
Hey, I'm an insurance broker, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about a screenplay, in the sense that we know that pharmaceutical companies are microdosing heroin to people with oxycodone, right?
I believe it.
But then fentanyl is killing people, right?
Yes.
I guess, what if no one knows where it came from? So I'm wondering if they made it, these pharmaceuticals, to kill off people who could make a class action lawsuit later on.
Maybe, that would be the, I think, Netflix version of it. Right? Like, it says that. But I just think fentanyl just makes, drugs cheaper. And it's, I've never I'm more of a drinker. Like, I don't even smoke. Like, I don't smoke weed. I've never done like a hard drug. I've smoked weed before, if you consider that a hard drug, but.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but I've never done like a hard drug like cocaine or something. I've never done that shit. But it seems like, when they say stepping on that shit, like that's what fentanyl does. But if you have too much of it, that shit'll check you out.
But they're saying like the smallest amount of it would kill you. So it's like,
right.
I'm just saying, like, I would think people in business, in any business, would want repeat business. Why would you gotta? I thought they wanted to kill competition, not kill the customer.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Kill the customer. I think I was in an Uber ride maybe a couple weeks ago, headed downtown, and the lady was telling me somebody found like a crazy amount of fentanyl, like pills or packets or something. Like something nutty. Like she was saying like 20,000 packets of fentanyl or something crazy that she said, like, and I'm like, what were they gonna do in Philly? Like,
who knows, bro?
My thing with that is I advise everybody, if you want to participate in those type of activities, make sure you have something to test it, to make sure you're not on some bullshit.
I think if you are engaged in that kind of stuff, bro, you really just gave up in life. Like, it's just like, look, man.
Nah, I mean, cocaine is a rich man drug, bro.
But not heroin, bro.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, not heroin. Yeah, heroin, yeah, crack.
that's what you're seeing down there. Okay, and like, and Kevin saying, it seems like it's mostly like heroin that's down that joint. Like,
it's definitely heroin and crack.
That's like
whatever keeps the people standing up, but they sleeping.
Bro,
whatever that is, it's what be down there.
They be out there doing circus tricks with that. I'm like, damn, how the hell do you stay up?
But what do you think makes you get on that?
I think probably
going into our topic, like what, like is it? You think it's a mental health thing, or
definitely? I think imagine somebody getting molested or something like that, and never having the courage to tell somebody that happened to them. Imagine how that could manifest itself later on, and what you trying to escape from. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, that's how I think a lot probably people get on it, or any drug for that matter, any strong drug,
or any thing to get your mind off of it, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say for myself, again, I've never done hard drugs, but have I, had too many drinks sometimes? Sure. Just based on life and circumstances, you know what I mean?
I feel like illegal stuff can be more dangerous than the stuff that's illegal though. Like even drinking could be illegal be dangerous than the mud because it's legalized, so everybody think it's okay.
Bro, I don't have to hide it. I can just walk into a store and just say, hey, yo, I want that Woodford Reserve bottle right there.
There you go.
I don't have to hide it. Like I don't have to hey, yo, big dog, you packing today or whatever they say. I never bought a drugs. I don't know what they say for a drug deal that happened, but
I typically ask myself when I'm seeing anybody usually doing anything that's like unbalanced, what happened to this person for them to be that way? And it doesn't have to be like you on hard drugs. It could be you running lights or running stop signs or you really just don't want to abide by no social norms at all. Like what happened to you for you to be like that? So with major drugs, like what are you running from, bro? That's how I'm gonna look at it.
But it could be anything. Like I said, so for alcohol with me, right? I would say this.
Yeah.
I would say, 3 years ago maybe, I felt like I was on top of the world, bro.
Yeah.
We've had conversations back then too, about the businesses, the restaurant I was opening, obviously my regular job that was, doing what it was doing, right?
Right.
And then an event happened, which, was me and my son's mom not being together.
Right.
And not just because of the hurt behind us not doing that, but more of how it shifted my life. You know what I mean? She moved to Virginia. And then now I'm now I'm single dad here. So now can I go check on the restaurant at 7 p.m. anymore, 8 p.m. anymore? No, I can't, right? It's dad time. It's you go to work, then you pick your kid up, and then you got to cook dinner, and you got to figure out how to do his hair, and you got to figure out all of these things. You know what I mean? Look, we're sitting here now. Look, he's sitting
chilling
4 feet from me. Right? It's me and him all the time, and those things bring you down. It doesn't bring you down in that, me and my kid. I'm not saying that way, but it brings you down in a way where you're not progressing in your entrepreneurship the way that you thought you were going to do anymore because you don't have the time to.
Right.
Your life is now focused solely on the child, and that was a big adjustment for me. And then to not think about it, to watch. I'm not saying my bank account, but I'm saying to watch the amount of money that was coming into my account on a month-to-month basis diminish as a result, bro. I was drinking every day. Every day, hard. The moment he went to sleep, I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 shots in a row, within a 10-minute time frame.
And that was how you was coping with it?
That's the only way I'll forget about it. Only way I could sleep.
Damn.
That's the only way I still can't sleep, but I just found different ways to not do it. But I still don't sleep. You know what I mean? Some chick asked me this week, because she texted me about some accounting shit, and I texted her back. It was 3:30 in the morning. She said, "Why are you awake?" I was like, "I just don't sleep. I don't sleep."
Yeah.
It's just weird, but it's all mental, right? Like even when I wake up in the middle of the night, I try to tell myself, "Yo, go back to sleep, bro. Just go back to sleep."
But your thoughts are racing.
My mind is racing, bro.
But it's interesting
It
because
doesn't turn off.
what you said resonated because right now, like obviously I'm married, got 2 kids, but I got that support. So it's like, yeah, you love your kid to death, but to not have that support is
Imagine if just take one of your 2 children,
yeah,
right? And imagine, God forbid, your wife leaves and says, "I'm keeping one, you keep one," and she moves 3 hours away, and now everything you do is centered around what? Your child, right?
Yeah.
It has to be. And that was my position. And mind you, she gave me a 2-week notice, like a 2-week notice.
yeah.
And that like bothered me. And then imagine, then you're still going to court and you're still trying to fight through it. Like it's like mental stuff. And I don't want to make this dog pile on my BM because it's not necessarily. It's just more so talking through, you know, what causes certain things and what triggers things and what could happen as a result.
How we coping with it.
Right. Well, like my whole life snowballed though. Like my job snowballed.
How so?
Because I was tired.
Right.
Right. I wasn't used to having to cook every single day, or I wasn't used to having to, like, when he's sick, like I'm home every day. And I'm not saying that nobody doesn't deal with that, because I'm sure people do deal with that, but it was new for me.
Right.
And I think that I've excelled at it. I mean, we're going into year 3 of it, so it's not like, you know, we fumbled the ball, but it was a challenge, though.
It's different for you too, because you're an intentional dad. I know you to be a good dad. So I think, like, my dad wasn't in my life at all. Like he was. I knew who he was and all that kind of good stuff, but he was nowhere near as good of a father as you. So, like, I don't think he would be stressing about stuff like that. I don't even think, like, the intention was near.
He would have let, like, because she wanted to take him to where she was living. Like, your dad
he would have been like, yo, take it.
Yeah, see, I didn't grow up that way. I grew up with both my parents.
Yeah.
My dad was very much involved in my life. I just didn't grow up that way. And I always looked at, like, all right, cool, like, I want to be with my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I try to, you know, get the same thing going this way.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? The beauty of it, I guess, because you're still going through it in a lot of different ways, but
it's always going. It's never going to change, because unfortunately, that's the thing that happens when you have a baby, right? You're kind of committing to a person, win, lose, or draw for forever.
You're choosing to. Not everybody chooses to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, if you want to be in a kid's life.
Yeah, but that's a great thing, because not many, well, I can't say not many, because I find that most 80s babies are really intentional about their children, where the generation before that weren't, and I'm not sure why the disconnect was there, but a lot of them weren't trying to be good dads. Most of the people I grew up with didn't have a dad in their life. So,
I don't know how to be friends with somebody that tells me that they don't know how, they're not taking care of their kids. Like, I'm not cool with that. Like, I don't know how to be cool with that. What you mean you don't take care of your kids? What you mean you ain't call your kid today?
right.
What you mean you don't know what they doing in school, or their interest, or why you not at their basketball game or their soccer game, or, you know, he's in basketball, soccer, and art, right?
Yeah.
Like, why you not taking him to art class every Saturday? Like, I don't understand. I'll never understand it.
But you know what? But again, like, it goes right into what you were talking about before, the mental health side of things, because I know from my cousin, Antoine, him being involved with his child and being in sports, he was telling me from the rip, as soon as your child is into a sport, that means you're into the sport.
Yeah.
So then you're doing that as a single dad.
1000%.
You know what I'm saying? That makes it even rougher. Plus, you're an entrepreneur. You're a whole accountant on top of being an entrepreneur. And then we talked about trying to fail forward while raising a child. And I can only imagine what it's like for my mom, who was a single mom with 3 kids, how that looked. With a dad who didn't care.
Yeah, man, look, making a lot, like, you know, back in the day, they didn't make what we make.
Right.
So, like, I could never even imagine. I take my hat off to any person on this planet that takes care of their kid by themselves, because that's a challenge.
So take your hat off for yourself then. Huh? take your hat off to yourself then.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have his mother to help. Obviously, that's there, but y'all not together. But it's still a crazy burden that most people don't think about.
Yeah, she helps, you know, financially, and she helps once a month for a couple of days just to take them.
Yeah.
So it's not that she's like not present.
Right.
I'm not saying that. It's just the bulk of it is what it is. But I want to take it off of her. I don't want this to be. But Lord knows I'll get a cease and desist order in court.
That's another thing. So that's crazy. So is this how would you maneuver differently, considering what happened? Like if you could rewind time, would you do anything different to change this current outcome, if anything? Just like inward thinking.
I would still do it. It meaning having a child, because I think that if I did it with anyone else, my child wouldn't be what my child is.
Right.
It would be someone different, a different version of himself.
Word up.
So I wouldn't want to change that.
Right.
We went back and forth about getting back together a few times. I think I would have probably just said no from the rip of that.
Right.
And call it a day. Is probably if I needed to do something different. But to get to when he was born on January 10th of 2020, I wouldn't do anything different,
Right. Right. How about as far as like how you like got to this situation where the separation, is anything you could have done differently on that end?
Maybe. I mean, I think that COVID kills everything, right?
Damn.
Like you have, like, and again, I'm gonna take this off of her in a second. Like we're gonna take this off of her.
Yeah.
But I think that she's very introverted, or she's not introverted, but she's a homebody.
Right.
If I have to stay home, I'm gonna take a walk for 3 hours just because I don't want to sit in my fucking house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that doesn't work well when we're both stuck in the house, right? And I'm like working in the basement with a newborn, and she had a kid already, and there's no windows in the basement, and it was too dreary for me. So when I would come upstairs, I probably wasn't in the best mood.
Right.
I probably didn't put the best version of myself together. Like, that's honest. Like, but I couldn't. Like, it was just, the world shut down. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't deal with the world shutting down. Like, for real. Like, again, from here to Fishtown, if I didn't have him, I'd put my headphones on and walk home.
Right.
I would stop at a couple of bars, meet some people, chill. Like, I'm super extroverted, dog. Super outside. Like, so to tell the super extrovert that he's stuck in the house for 18 months with a newborn, again, it's like, bro, it's brutal. And again, the biggest thing that nobody understands is my work station, because I was working from home, is in the basement with no windows, bro. It's like the darkest fucking... Go sit in a room with no windows for a couple of hours and see how your mood changes. Imagine doing that shit 5 days a week, 40 hours.
Along with COVID.
With COVID, like bro, it's too much.
Yeah,
and you come upstairs, and all you hear when you come upstairs is a newborn and another kid running and a woman telling you that she doesn't get a break, and it's like, bro, like I lost my mind, bro. Honestly, and again, that's not her fault.
Right. It was a situation. Mine. It was a situation.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't function.
It's funny because I was talking about it earlier today, just the emotional regulation, in the sense that, like, for me, it's a lot different because I've always kind of been tending to my mental health for a long period of time, hence the fitness journey, all that kind of good stuff.
Word.
But I find that, like, when I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I will literally go and write down exactly what I'm feeling, because I don't want whatever I'm feeling to pour over into my family. I really do that intentionally.
So I saw something. I think it was Steve Smith. Remember the old wide receiver from Carolina?
Yeah.
I saw him say something like, when he first wakes up, he gives himself 10 minutes to feel whatever he's gonna feel, and he writes it down, and then he goes about his day. No matter what he feels throughout the day, you gotta wait for 10 minutes tomorrow to feel it again. You can't feel it anymore. Which I don't know if that's the best way of going about it, because I feel like you're more than likely a ticking time bomb at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I want to process it. If I'm feeling like, I remember I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I was very aggravated, and I had to explain that to my lady. I'm aggravated right now. I don't know why I'm aggravated right now, but I'm not feeling my best self. But while she's talking to me, I'm making sure that whatever I'm feeling as far as aggravation goes, I'm not being dismissive of anything she's saying, but I'm still processing it. And when I finally got to the barbershop, I meditated. And then when I meditate, I'm observing my thoughts. And I'm writing down. I had linked it back to a client who said something to me that was toxic. And I had to basically fire that client. Like, that's how I operate my business, in the sense that, like, I don't think all money is good money. And if I have to carry a negative energy after you leave the barbershop, that's a no-no for me. And I get that most people can't do that if you work a 9 to 5, but that's how I operate, though.
Well, I mean, because it's entrepreneurship, right? Like, you get to pick and choose. Like, I could dictate what clients I take on the outside of my day-to-day, but when I go to, you know, my actual 9 to 5 every day, I mean, I have to report to the CFO that tells me who the hell I got to talk to today.
Right.
I don't get an option necessarily to do that.
You don't, but at the same time, I like how you operate, because Jay, I love talking to New Yorkers, because I think New Yorkers are the ultimate hustlers, right? I think you have to be to even operate in that city. You know what I'm saying? So you come to Philadelphia, everything's slowed down. But I think
slow motion.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why, again, like, you opened the bar up, the bar didn't go how you wanted it to go, but you being who you are and your experiences, you're just going to do it again, because those decisions are freedom in the future. You know what I mean? So you might not have to report to that CFO in the future.
Yeah, I won't for too much longer. I'm 38. I look at the number 40 that sits in my house every day.
Yeah.
It sits in my living room, the number 40, because that's where I plan on not having to go to a day-to-day anymore. And I visualize it every day.
Wow.
but at the same time, like, you know, sometimes you do certain things and you just don't do them anymore, right? Like, again, like, just thinking on, like, anxiety and mental health, like, thinking about, or even depression, right? All of these things were happening at the same time, and the restaurant didn't work. And it was like, I learned a lot of lessons, but one of the lessons I learned was, this is not the necessary, like, the niche for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool in the stock market. I understand it. I could deal with numbers, right? We could try to figure out a real estate game or something like that. Or even like more of a commercial real estate play, or buying a freaking, like, when can we buy like a housing complex or something over time where everybody's credit is cool. You get a couple of investors and you figure out something, right? To me, it makes more sense than trying to figure out food and beverage.
That's one of the
food and
hardest
beverage.
industries
It was hard.
into.
It was a challenge.
Yeah.
And I was almost like, I want to say I was a silent partner, for real. So I would see the numbers, I would understand what was going on, but I didn't have much of the say.
Yeah.
I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Which again is another learning experience, but I don't even think if I had to say I'd want to go back into that. It's like a day-to-day grind.
Yeah.
Like, you know, one of my mans, Kev, who owns Taste downtown, he's really good at that, right? Like, he opened, I don't know if you've been to Savo yet, he just opened Savo. He's about to open another Taste taco bar in a couple of weeks, but like, he's really good at that. Like, he's good at, but I'm also shy as shit. Like,
introverted shy boy.
Yeah, like, to where, like, I'm cool, like, if we're outside,
socialize.
Talk. Exactly. I'll walk up to a stranger on the street and you'll act like we know each other for 20 years, but for me to, like, promote something that I'm doing or something, that's a little bit of a challenge for me. That's a little bit. Even, I mean, bro, even honestly, like, the funniest thing, nobody would believe me. I tell you, I don't like all eyes on me. And when I was in court, man, like, I be in there stuttering, like, go, because I'm like, the judge is asking me questions I know the answers to, but I feel like 5 or 6 people are staring at me, and now I'm fucking stuck. Like,
it's the pressure of it.
It's not even pressure, because I know the answers, and it's my truth is my truth. It's something about, like, people looking at me all at the same time that goes, nah, bro.
But that's pressure. I'm saying, like, that right there is pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, however you're going to be looking at it, like,
it makes me anxious for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't rock with that necessarily.
Yeah, I'm a little bit different. I market to everybody. I just like you, super extroverted. But as far as my businesses goes, I'm always marketing. I mean, people on social media probably tell you I probably market every day, all day, in person.
Really?
That's all I'm about. I'm not sure if I usually don't get tricked up in certain situations like that. But still, I mean, that's a good observation. You know what I'm saying? I would want to explore why. Like, I think most people don't observe themselves in that capacity to figure out how they maneuver in certain ways. And I think that's another thing about men's mental health. Mm-hmm. Like most men, I get frustrated with that. Like if men don't look inward to figure out like how they could have kind of operated in a certain way to kind of improve their situation, I might get a little not frustrated, but I know we not playing on the same field right now.
Well, I mean, you also got to surround yourself with the right people, right?
Word up.
Like some of my friends, like I call one of my friends like my therapist. Like I call him, and like even if I think I'm dead right and I'm screaming, I'm going, yo, this shit, da 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 da. He's like, well, what did you do?
That's love.
What could you have done differently?
That's amazing.
Like, but I always go, I fucking hate this. Like,
but isn't that amazing?
But it's right though. He's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He forces me to go like, yo, what's different about today than.
Most people, here was the thing. Even though you just mentioned like certain situations, you're not going to feel extroverted, right? But then you are extroverted enough to make friends where you have people who can help you think inward. A lot of people don't even have that, yo. They don't. And I think that's the worst part about it. If you don't have a good circle around you that really kind of help you hold yourself accountable, then that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
I always say this. Even with my friends, like I told you, I'm going to New York tomorrow for this event tomorrow. And I'm going to see my friends that I've known since I was 5 years old, right? Like, right. If I can't be honest with them, who am I honest with? Like, am I honest with anybody? Am I honest with myself? Like, who am I honest with? Now, if I have to go somewhere, like, you know, go to work and tell them a bullshit story about why I didn't come to work today, sure. Right. But, like, if we're talking about deep-rooted stuff, like, again, even if I don't want the world to know what those deep-rooted things are, like, I want to know what the truth is. I want to have conversations about what the truth is. And, like, who the hell can you be honest with if you're not being honest with those people?
And that's interesting because I find that, like, when I talk about vulnerability, like vulnerability from the place where you feel safe enough to keep it all the way 100% real. Because that's like if you don't have a circle where you can do that, then you don't get an opportunity to process anything.
Right. I've had conversations that have started. They go, yo, it's 12:30, and I go, yo, I tripped out. You gonna be mad at me, dog? Because I know I said the wrong thing to the wrong person. You know what I mean? Like, and it happens that way. Like, I mean, again, like, who are you honest with?
Yeah, and you know it's interesting because like I find myself I rarely have moments where I lose control when communicating with people. I definitely look at communication as a way to forge alliances. But no one can be 100% in control all the time. Well, I think I reel myself back a lot of times nowadays, but it was a time I could damage somebody way worse by just saying something to you than like.
Well, I'm the worst. Again, like if I'm having a bad week and I go, man, let me just start my little drinking. I'll fuck up in front of everybody.
Damn.
I will.
How do you control? Now you know that. How do you go about controlling that?
Well, first and foremost, I don't drink during the week anymore.
Okay.
Right. Like it's Friday after work. So again, even to have this conversation with my anxiety, I took a couple shots before I got here. But you know, Friday to Sunday when we cool down with him and I getting ready for work and school on Monday morning.
Yeah.
It's over. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down till Friday, because then it alleviates things. Because I'm so busy on the damn weekends. Like I said, he's in so many damn activities, and then you know I still want to have fun. I still want to go out. I still want to date or do whatever I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Go hang out with my homies.
Yeah.
So where you don't even get a chance to argue. The arguments of the text message you get at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. And then you go, how fucking dare you?
Damn, that's what happens?
I'll kill you all.
Just knocks you off the square?
Yeah. But only again with drinking. Otherwise, nah. I just kind of ignore it. Most of the time now I ignore it because nothing good comes from it.
But
I used to argue. I used to argue a whole lot, but I don't argue anymore.
I got into the process of letting people know exactly what I'm feeling. My wife would tell people that in a heartbeat. I could be very blunt. Definitely was that in the past. I definitely changed how blunt. I'll be blunt or let you know how I'm feeling at the moment, even about somebody, because I need to get it off my chest. I don't want to hold it. But my wife would tell you from the rip. She was like, the best part of being married to Paul, you don't gotta be a mind reader to understand what he's thinking.
I've always said that. But you know what? I've always said that. I've always said, like, you don't have to interpret what I'm saying. Just take what I'm saying because I'm telling you what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to think about it. Whatever I'm telling you is what I'm telling you.
But I would say this. I think the difference now, though, because I think I agree with that, but my delivery has always changed. It's changed. In the past, I would say what I'm going to be saying to you. I don't care how it lands. Where nowadays, I want it to land like I want it to be all net. I want it to land. I don't want it to be rejected back at me. I want you to understand what I'm saying to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm delivering bad news, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, my man, like, I don't think you are in alignment with the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? I might have to, I don't think you come in at the shop anymore. I mean, we don't mesh well. Whatever the case may be, how I'm going to say it is going to land.
See, my thing is, like, straight talk is straight understanding, right? Like, even let's take it off of, like, arguments. Let's say one of my friends' parents
Hold
died.
on real quick. Let me just hold that thought. Hold that thought. Please finish what you're on real quick. Said straight talk, even when your
let's say
parents
if your one of your parents pass away,
right,
and somebody close to you calls me to say, hey, I think this person should hear it from you, right, cool. Within 10 seconds of the conversation, I'm gonna tell you your parent died. I'm not gonna sit here and go, hey, what are you doing, how was your day, you know, like, because it's a bad conversation. It's tough, and we just have to have a tough conversation, right? You want me to have it with them? I'll have it with them. Hey, look, I'll see you in a couple of days. Let me know if you need me. You know, somebody passed away, and I'm super sorry for your loss. And please let me know if you need anything. X, Y, and Z told me to call you and let you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, because you could beat around the bush, and you can make it seem however you want it to seem, but does that person's hurt change? No, you just fucking talking. Like, you just talking.
But that's different than, like, prime example. If I gotta tell my lady about something when she's not being her authentic self in certain capacities, and I have to make it so it's received where she's not going to pit up the armor. When I'm telling her, I need you to understand, like, this part, like, of what I'm going through right now. My delivery got to be changed. It got to be different. I can't just be like, yo, listen, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be like it got to be received. Yeah,
that's 100%. That's 100%.
Yeah. But I find, like,
what I found in that way. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
What I found in those situations with females these days is I'll be very intentional about what I text them. And then I'll say to them, like, hey, like, before you respond to this, please just try to read this a few times and understand where I could be coming from. You know what I mean? And before, like, read it. Because sometimes you say things to people one time and they get immediately offended. They jump on the defensive. And it's like, if you just read what I'm saying. Like, I've said it to a couple of times to, you know, homegirl. Like, yo, just read this again. Just read it again. And I bet you won't feel the need to be as upset as you are. You know what I mean? But, I mean, it works sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, for me, yo, even with that, I recognize not everybody is strong as I am, in the sense that, like, if I did anything that was wrong in any capacity and you had to tell me something I did wrong, I'm going to embrace that. I love constructive criticism, but I know everybody ain't strong enough to receive it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only part.
I have an intolerance for people that don't. Because now we have to put up with your bullshit. Right now you're saying it like because like none of us are always right. You can call me tomorrow and say, yo, I didn't like this, right? And you know what I have to say? Yo, you know what? My bad. I'm sorry you took it that way. 9 out of 10 times I'm gonna say, hey, that wasn't even where I was coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry you felt that way. But if I just go, that's just how I am, dog, da da da. Come on, now I'm asking somebody else to put up with my bullshit, right? Like, nah.
Well, I think like being again like my wife is a person.
But you guys have been together forever.
Yeah, but still,
but because you know what's gonna get her to jump and what's not.
Well, I wasn't always that way. I wasn't all.
Right.
At one point in time, I could be blunt about a situation, and she would get upset. Actually, the first time we ever had an argument, my wife and I rarely argue, but I remember our first time arguing. We was in Home Depot, and I don't even know because it's such a long time ago. I don't know what the issue was, but I said something to her that she didn't appreciate, and she held it in. Like she wasn't going to say anything about it, but you could tell she was feeling type of way. I was trying to get it out of her. Like, what's wrong? Why are you responding this way? Like, why? What did I do? Whatever the case may be. And then she was driving at the time. I'm in the back seat of the car holding on to whatever we got from Home Depot, dog. She took both hands off the steering wheel, gave me middle fingers with both hands. And I was just like, I knew how to adjust it. I was just like, well, that's how you would treat your husband, huh? One of them Jones. Mm-hmm. But then when I went upstairs to apologize to her for what I said, how I said what I said. It wasn't what I said, it was how I said what I said.
How you said it, yeah.
But
and the way she received it.
Yeah, but then she was already apologizing to me too. But I had to explain. My wife is Indian. I thought she was a sister when I first met her, but her culture, women aren't taught to like talk back to men and X, Y, and Z. I explained to her like, listen, in this house, this is our new culture. If you don't let me know what I'm doing incorrectly, I can't make adjustments.
You can't fix it.
I can't fix it. So communication got to be on the forefront. Mm-hmm. And so along with that, my communication style has evolved with my lady and anybody else around my orbit. Mm-hmm. Nobody perfect, but at the same time, I strive to communicate the best way I possibly can, especially my lady. So that's why I was saying like more or less like, I know my lady really well. I know she's nowhere near as strong as I am as far as constructive criticism. She getting better at it because I made her aware of that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, this is.
But the thing with constructive criticism is, right, like nobody wants you to tell them that you're doing something wrong, right?
Yeah.
But can you look yourself again, like, who are you? Did you do something wrong?
Yeah,
right. Wrong, right? I mean, it is what it is. Like nobody wants to know that though.
Yeah. My daughter she came in here the other day. She was just like, I had hit my wife with a nuke. Basically, I had to let her know about herself. And I usually, again, I'm very controlled with how I speak. But I had to let her know how I felt about a current situation. It was real. And my daughter heard it. And she was like, she came in, she walked here from school, and she was really distant. I was like, why are you distant? She was like, because you made mom cry the other day. And I was just like, bite down for me? And I was just like, that's why I was saying it's a nuke, because it's like you don't know where the wind's going to blow. So at that point in time, my kids received that. And she was just kind of reminiscing about times where I wasn't my best self. And I had to, you know, calm my emotion down at that point in time and talk to her like, all right, well, if we're tallying when we did something wrong, are we actually getting to the solution, or are we trying to get to a solution? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, unfortunately, you had to hear that. But at the same time, this is how adults communicate. Unfortunately, you heard that part, but I'm trying to get to a solution.
Your daughters are like teenagers now, right?
Yeah, I have a 14-year-old and a 13-year-old.
Yeah, you want to make sure they don't think that some dude. But well, I don't know. I'm glad I don't have a daughter. I don't know what I would tell my daughter, honestly.
Man, I love having a kid. I love having daughters, bro. How about this? I know after I had to kind of communicate my wife in that fashion, right? I kind of did one of your moves. I basically went. Well, I go and journal first. I wrote everything down, text messages, and I sent it to her. So when I walked in the room, whatever the case may be, it wasn't no static. She just gave me a hug. She understood exactly why I was upset. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because it was true. Because it's like right now.
And I think if they read it again, and they can read it in their own time. You don't got to read it right now. You can read it 3 weeks from now. You know what I mean? Let me see what this person. And that goes for friendships. That goes for family members. That's not just like couples. You know what I mean? That's anybody.
You got to be clear. You got to be clear.
You got to be yeah.
You got to be clear.
Listen, you got to be concise in what you're saying, and I definitely don't. I'm not gonna receive somebody's AI text message. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, tell me what you're saying. Don't type some shit in ChatGPT and try to send it to me. Like, nah, no, I'm not with that. Tell me what you're saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as crazy as it sounds, it could be as much ebonics as whatever, but let it be authentic.
Yeah.
Let it be authentic, and then I'll try to understand it.
Yeah.
And, you know, but the only thing with that is, the only tricky part is when people do that, they then think, well, now he has to agree with me. Well, I can still come back and say, well, I still don't agree.
Yeah.
I can say, hey, no, I still think you're wrong here about that.
No, but we can find alignment. I don't necessarily always have to agree with you, but the idea, especially in the marriage, is to find balance. Yeah, we gotta find some kind of balance,
right?
Or some way to coexist. Look, I was kind of I was more upset because I'm building my insurance business. Obviously, building the barbershop, and that requires a lot of marketing, a lot of heavy lifting, and
how's the insurance business coming?
It's going well, bro. Because it's going really well actually, but it just had to come to a screeching halt because I have to help her with her other clinic, and I was telling her about these issues that were happening a long time ago, but she wasn't listening. And because she wasn't listening, we could have been addressed the issue. But now, because I'm building all these things I'm building, I actually have to stop and do a full-fledged reversal of what I'm building to help her do what she has to do. And that's fine. I mean, I love being able to wear multiple hats, but at the same time, to get hit with that at this stage, I was like, damn, dog, like mentally, I have to do a whole tire shift to something different. But at the same time, because it's for a woman I love, that's fine. But you still have to hear how I'm feeling right now, dog.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'm telling you, like, when I had to took all of this stuff, like, the things I was doing to a halt, like, it was, like, brutal, bro. It was, like, you couldn't tell me I wasn't about to, like, get to, I would be at 1 million by now, for sure.
Right.
3 years ago.
Right.
But it was a halt.
Yeah. But again, I remember when I went to New York and got to chill with one of my wife's friends. We had a ball. We were in Brooklyn, then we went to Queens. And I think I was texting you that day about that situation. Like, yo, man, I just love being in New York. I love being in Brooklyn. And I like the energy of the city and all that. Even what you just now said, I would have been close to a mill, X, Y, and Z. I just like how New Yorkers think as it relates to just like, not hustle to a point where you can't relax, but the idea that like there's not a dollar printed that don't say J name on it. That's important, and I don't think a lot of people have that. You know what I mean?
Man,
yeah.
I'll be surprised at people that don't. Like, what you mean? Print money every day.
Word.
Well, Kanye say America's for sale.
But I'll tell you what, my issue with people, I think, is them not any form of adversity. They ready to give up on life, and it's like you really gotta let that joint play out, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And I see a lot of people just giving up. They see one thing that happened, and like they mentally check out of the situation. Like, what was me? I can't see myself doing that ever, though.
I mean, you gotta be willing to do it again, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, if you're a true entrepreneur, a true somebody that thinks they can make some money, if you make it and then you lose it, which was what kind of happened in my case.
Yeah.
Do you think that you can't do it again?
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this is just a road bump, a learning lesson.
Yeah.
A learning lesson that says, don't go to Miami and Vegas every weekend, Jason. Do something else. You know? Learning lessons, you know what I mean? Stop buying Balenciagas, dog. Like, you know, and you learn from it. It is what it is.
That's why, you know what, you asked me about the insurance. Like, I have these financial literacy workshops in the barbershop. Mm-hmm. And the insurance business is going well because I'm practicing what I preach, in the sense that, like, my biggest thing is always saving. And I've found a way to save myself $500 a month by just going through writing down my fixed costs, writing down my variable costs, eliminating certain expenses. And when I did that, I was like, damn, well, I save myself $500 a month. I bet I can save somebody else $500 a month and then repurpose their money. Mm-hmm. And to some folks, like, I think now because of social media, everybody's talking big money. But if $500 is a lot of money to me.
$500 is, you save yourself $6,000 a year, right?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with having over 3 years, $18,000 in your bank account.
But then repurposing
Most Americans don't have $1,000 in their bank account.
Facts.
There's nothing wrong with that. And like you said, repurposing it. You could go buy yourself a piece of land with that, right? You could go buy yourself or put it in the stock market or fund your business without having to get business credit. You could do a lot of things with 18 to 20 grand, 10 grand. You can do a lot of things, bro.
Bro, it was manifesting itself in way different ways than I expected. One, it made it super easy to pay off the loan that I used to rent out my house in West Philly. Right. That's one thing right there. So I got residual income off of that. But my main thing was like, I know I want to retire.
But that's a rental property?
That's a rental property.
Right. So if you don't owe nothing on it, and you're getting money every month, you see what you just did. That's what I'm saying. It's easy.
But now it's just teaching people. I'm not going to try to tell people to do something I'm not already doing.
Yeah, of course.
So for that being said, like when folks came to this financial literacy workshop I had, one young lady said, I spent $500 again. She said I spent $500 on a financial literacy workshop in the past, and yours was free, and it wasn't even as impactful. That one wasn't as impactful as yours. You know what I mean? Because we practice vulnerability in these spaces. I'm gonna tell you what I'm struggling with, what I was struggling with, what I'm currently doing.
Yeah, I did a workshop. I was a speaker at the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
Yeah.
It was my second year doing it, probably like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I felt like I had a lot more to say this year.
Yeah. Because
of the struggles that I had last year.
Yeah.
As opposed to the year before.
Yeah.
I was kind of talking from I don't know if what you call like a higher up kind of space, as opposed to this time I was talking from, hey, like, here's what could go wrong. Here's why you should do something different. You know what I mean? Like, it was a way different space that I was talking from.
Because experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bite down for me? Experience is the best teacher. But again, I think for me, I notice I gravitate towards people who actually been through something. If you ain't been through nothing, then like we're not gonna pretty much vibe, because every little bit of issue that pop up, you're gonna think is the end of the world, where people who actually been through something learn from what they've been through. And they don't look at it like, they look at like the school of hard knocks. They ain't gonna look at it like, oh my God, my life is over. But people do that. And I'm gonna look at you like you're weak.
You are. I mean, you are mentally weak, unfortunately, if that's what happens.
I'm gonna look at you and
I look at things and go, all right, cool, like, I don't know I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do it. Right. I mean, we gonna figure it
out. Facts. How about that? You know what? It's interesting because I be telling people on TikTok how I learned how to cut hair. I'm not sure if I told you that story.
You told me you was in Canada, right?
Yeah. Well, my wife left me. And I moved to Canada with no plan other than to save my family. And I came across a Filipino barbershop. They taught me how to cut hair. And then I learned how to cut hair. Was cutting the hair downtown Toronto eventually, and built a hell of a clientele. So if I go to Toronto, it's almost like I know it, like I live there, like I'm from there. Mm-hmm. And then when I finally saved my family, had to drop everything, move back to Philadelphia, and now it manifests itself in this barbershop here and now. So it goes back to what you said before. Like, I think to be mentally strong is to look at adversity as the beginning of your story and recognize you are the author of your story, and you can do it all over again because you got the proof that you did it before.
Yeah, but also, in order to become mentally strong, you gotta go through the fire.
Word. And
that fire might be hot. it might not be the easiest thing to do. Like, my fire probably took, I want to say, a year and a half, bro. I was down bad. Right. I couldn't figure it out. But just because I couldn't think straight is what it was. And I'd never been able to not think straight.
Yeah.
So when you finally get to that point where, like, your mental is off, your anxiety is high, you're not sleeping, you gotta just go through it. But like you said, understand that this is the beginning, right? But that beginning is a tough beginning, right? Like, you can't just fold on it. It's just a challenge.
It's gonna keep on coming. Challenge is gonna keep on coming. But I will say this, because I know you were saying you struggle with sleep. So do I, bro. I ain't getting no sleep last night. But I did wake up rested though. I didn't sleep very much. I probably went to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then had to wake up at 5. Like, so I probably had 2 hours, bro. And dozing off in between, which I'm not counting.
I'm kind of the opposite. Like, and so obviously, I'm a Cavs fan, so I'm gonna watch the game. It's gonna finish around 10. So I'll probably go to sleep at 10:30.
Yeah.
But by 12:45, 1 o'clock, like,
you're waking up.
I'm up.
Me too.
And it's just over with.
Me too. That's what happened. Like, I'm gonna doze off and then wake up and then go to bed again at like 3 o'clock.
I'll go to sleep again at like 4:30, and then at 5:15 my alarm goes off, and I'm like, fuck, like what am I supposed to do now?
That's the thing though. When I was reading post-traumatic slave syndrome, that's when I understood that part of our issue with having post-traumatic slave syndrome is that lack of sleep. Many of us suffer from
What
that.
does that mean?
The lack of sleep?
Well, no, post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Post-traumatic slave syndrome is more or less like the idea that if we suffer from generational poverty, generational trauma, sorry.
Okay.
And generational trauma is passed down. So a lot of times how we rear our children, how we interact with each other in our community is based off of what our parents saw, and then what their parents saw, and what their parents saw. To here and now, you move in a way where we really don't really unpack what we're going through when we find it. Like at 8 years old, a lot of times many African Americans and people of color experience what an army combatant would experience if they went to war. You know what I mean? Hyper vigilance. You're always kind of like thinking something terrible is going to happen to you at all times. You're not in control of your emotions all the time. Those things happen with children who live in inner city communities. They are severely stressed, and they haven't had any help. So it can manifest itself in lack of sleep. It can manifest itself in so many different other ways, but unless you become aware of it, you don't.
I've tried a lot of things, bro. I've tried hypnosis, all types of shit to go to sleep, bro.
You meditate though. Try meditation.
I do meditate.
When you go to sleep, when you try to sleep, think
I meditate in the morning.
Try to do it when you're going to try to do it. I try to do it. It was working for a while, and sometimes I forget to do it. But when I can't sleep, I meditate, and that does help. Okay. It helps a lot.
Okay.
That helps a lot.
I'll try that out.
I gotta keep remembering it. I didn't remember to do it last night, but it's something it's a discipline. Check it out, Jay.
Now, if I just wasn't sleeping and woke up at 1 and say, "Damn, shall I meditate now?" Like it would work still. It would work.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, if you remember to do it, I'd be forgetting to do it.
Yeah, I think we cool. We could just take this down a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll do.
And outside of that, yeah, we cool.
My God,
bro, appreciate you.
Say closing statements before I take your mustache down, because you won't be able to talk while I'm doing that. To anybody out there struggling with mental health issues,
read some books. Like you said, meditate. Go get some help from someone. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Don't keep it inward.
Word.
Do not keep it inward.
Word.
If it doesn't help, it just makes it worse.
How about this? Just because of today.
And also.
Yeah.
For any strong African American man or any man in general that thinks that it's not okay, cry, bro. It's okay.
We're human beings.
It's okay.
We're human beings.
Bro. It's okay.
We're human beings. You know, it's funny you say that because I was actually mentioning that I cried in front of my daughter.
Yeah.
And my daughter felt. I told you that. I was going through my story about my daughter found out I have a smoking cigarette habit that I'm fighting. I had to call 1-800 quit to go through it. Mm-hmm. And then she listened to my podcast episode, and then she was like, "Well, why do you think you smoke the way you were smoking?" And I was explaining to her the story of going to Canada, all that kind of good stuff, coming back home. Wife had family PTSD because she had that. I renovated that house we live in, 2,600 square feet by hand. And then going through that story, I'm like, God damn! Tears start coming. I'm going through a lot. And my daughter was just honored. She was like, "Dad, it's the first time crying in front of me." She's like, "You're 44 years old with a six-pack. It's not the fact that your physique that makes you a man. It's just the fact that you're not afraid to cry in front of your children."
Right.
And she's only 12 saying that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
To your point.
Because look, listen, you gotta let it out. If you keep it inside and you try to be tough and you try to make it seem like everything is okay, that's when it goes awry, right? Like, to not bring up a bad story again, but I say said person because I don't like talking about it in front of her.
Right.
Said person, man, she sent a bunch of disparaging things to my friends and family through text messages, and it fell on deaf ears, and it didn't even really bother me. You know why?
Why?
Because I talk to them about it all the time.
Right.
I talk to them. I open up about it. I kick and scream and cry on the phone with them, and they know what the deal is, right? So you gotta let it out. It helps.
Vulnerability is a superpower, bro. But I think just to close out, I would say this. I would say, if you don't have the ability to cry, I would think life conditions you to not be a human being. And if you in that space, that's dangerous.
You gotta go seek help. I'm not even being funny. Like, if you can't cry, if you're too tough to cry, then something is wrong with you.